Hey, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks for joining me today. A little quick historical note. It was on this day that I walked into WZZM 51 years ago and started doing my broadcast on November the 5th in 1974. One thing I wanted to point out, these are the rainfall totals from early this morning. And as you can see, the farther north you were, the more rain you got. That 66-hour rainfall map really hit this one almost right on in terms of the amount and the fact that the rainfall amounts would increase as you went off to the north. So I thought it's kind of neat to see the models come up with a wind like that. In Grand Rapids, officially at the airport, 3/100 of an inch. I had 7/100 of an inch here in Alpine Township, 8/100 Kent City, and you can see the farther north. Once you get up to about US 10, Ludington, Baldwin, and whatnot, there was about a third or a little bit more than a third of an inch. All right, let's take a look at some of the wind gusts that we had here during the day today, and also some temperatures. You can see how choppy the lake was today. That's a picture off the Gluro. No, it's not. Excuse me. That is the picture off the Gluro camera at South Haven, and you're looking just on the other side of the North Pier there at South Haven. Those are pretty big waves. When I checked right around midday, we were running about 6 to 7 feet at the buoys in terms of wave height. And it was 42 miles an hour, the peak gust there at South Haven. Grand Rapids had a peak gust of 36 miles an hour, blew down a number of leaves out there, which I will have to get off. It kind of blew them all to the back fence. So hopefully I'll have a little easier time picking things up. All right, some temperatures on the day today. It was a nice day here, and Plainwell topped the list. Heard from them at 56 degrees. Kalamazoo, Ionia, Fremont at 55, Grand Rapids 54, and South Haven and the Holland Beach at 51. And look at the picture over there on the left side. You can see a pretty big wave hitting the edge of the pier there and going right up to the top of the light. So pretty interesting. Not a good day to be walking the piers, that's for sure. Those clouds did clear out. That was the clearing line as it worked its way across the area here during the late morning. Okay, let's go on and talk about the climate data. 7:21 on the sunrise, 5:30 now on the sunset. We're down to 10 hours and 9 minutes of daylight. The average high temperature 52, the average low temperature at 36. Record high for the day 75 in 2015, 10 years ago. The record low 15 in 1951 when we had over half a foot of snowfall here in the Grand Rapids area. Temperatures in the afternoon were only in the low 20s that day. And then there's another picture from Muskegon there showing the choppy conditions and whitecaps there out on the lake. By the way, if you've heard some noise in the background, one of my cats is chasing this little orange basketball that I got from Scott McNeil from Gus Mackers. It's become kind of a favorite toy, kind of pushing it around here. Okay, let's go on now and take a look at the lake forecast here for the day tomorrow. We're looking for to be a little choppy out there. Waves should increase to about 2 to 5 feet. There's the buoy temperatures, which cooled off, even though we've had kind of a mild fall here. You can see the South Haven buoy with a water temperature of just 48 degrees. And that was a picture taken toward afternoon when we had the sun sparkling off the waters there in Holland. Going to look at the headlines that we have here for the day today. I think we'll be seeing some sunshine. It may get a bit breezy, especially if you're at Lake Michigan, but a pretty nice day. An isolated shower is possible early Wednesday morning, but then the sun pops out again for Wednesday afternoon and Thursday. And we'll have the best chance of rain Friday and Saturday. It's like definitely going to rain on Friday, and that could cause some damp conditions for the playoff football games here Friday night. All right, let's go on and take a look at the moon, which is right about full for this time of year. As you can see, that's what it looks like. This is a super moon, and in fact, it is the biggest and brightest full moon of the year 2025. The moon is technically at its fullest here early Wednesday morning, but if you can see it over the next several days here, look up and take a look at what is a slightly larger, it's about 7-8% or so larger than a typical full moon. Okay, on we go to the severe weather map. And once again today, I think this is 3 out of 4 days in a row, we have not had a single severe weather report in the United States. And so those figures you see for 2025 are still good. We've had 1,526 tornadoes reported in the U.S. That number will be refined with time as we weed out some of the duplicates. People see tornadoes from different angles and report the same tornado more than once. Severe weather should be really at a minimum here over the next week or so. During the day today. Now, yesterday, the map showed no organized thunderstorm activity at all. Today, they've included a little bit of a green area for non-severe thundershower along the coastline of northwest California and extreme southwest Oregon. Probably won't happen, but there could be a rumble of thunder out there. And then the area kind of expands a little bit here as we head to Wednesday. Wednesday's map shows that area in California, Oregon, and Washington, where there could be a flash of lightning or two in Portland and Seattle. Yet another storm coming in there, and that's going to produce a lot of rain. Take a look at the rainfall map here that we have here for the next 3 days. Our 66-hour rainfall map indicates a lot of rain for parts of California, Oregon, and Washington. And you can see there's a little bit of rain here over the Great Lakes and then rain in the northeastern U.S. But the main push is another atmospheric river. And they could see 1/2 to 1 inch of rain all the way down to San Francisco. Let's head to Michigan and show you that the rain shower activity that is going to be coming through tomorrow night will mainly stay north of our area. It prints out really nothing more than trace amounts for I-96 and south. Once you get north of Big Rapids, there could be a couple 3/100ths of an inch and maybe a 1/10 of an inch or a touch more up in northern lower Michigan and upper Michigan. And so if we move on and talk about the tropics a little bit here, really not much going on. We had Hurricane Melissa, and once that moved out of the way, and by the way, that's still a kind of a windy, rainy, low pressure center located near Iceland. So it's really, it didn't move for hardly a couple of days. It was moving at 2, 3, 4 miles an hour, and then it just really took off. Nothing going on in the Atlantic, and we may be done for the year. I don't see anything developing in the next 7 to 14 days, so we'll see. The water's still fairly warm in parts of the Gulf and Caribbean, so it's not impossible something could spring to life, but conditions look rather unfavorable here, at least through the next 7 to 10 days. Same thing for the Eastern Pacific, which was going pretty good there for a while, but no activity now. And they will also likely remain tropical storm free here over the next 1 to 2 weeks. And by then, you're pretty much done with the season. There is one hurricane off to the west. If we take a look at the map that comes from the Joint Typhoon Center, you can see there's Typhoon Kalmegi, and that is going through the Philippine Islands right now. There's another wave that's following that. That's 90W. That has yet to really develop much. But let's take a look at the path of the typhoon. By the way, a typhoon is the same as a hurricane. It's just got a different name there. But it's sliding through the Philippine Islands now. It will intensify just a little bit more as it heads out over the South China Sea and makes landfall, as you can see, in Vietnam and then in Laos, where the cats are having so much fun with that ball. Just all over they're active at night sometimes, but they're having a good time. All right, so that's a little tropical update for you. Let's go back to our weather here for just a second and take a look at what's on tap for the day. Hey, we could come close to 60 this afternoon. Now, this is away from the lake. Winds will be southwest, so if you're at the lakeshore, it should be about 5 to 8 degrees cooler there. But I think we can get away with mostly sunny. There will be a few clouds. Humidity goes down to about 35 to 40% in the afternoon, so that's pretty low. And wind should pick up to 10 to 20 miles an hour for the midday and afternoon, probably some gusts up to around 25. Taking a look at some high temperatures here across the area for today. We can expect readings mainly in the upper 50s in the inland areas. The computer giving 60 to Holland. That's at the airport, by the way, and as our winds go more south-southwest, the wind kind of misses the lake. So by late in the day, it could reach 60. You can see 61 down in Chicago. Should be a good day down there. The temperatures up in northern lower Michigan will be in the low to mid 50s, and in the UP, it's all pretty much green, which means temperatures in the 50s as well. So that's a pretty nice day. Average high temperature is low 50s, so if we're seeing some sun and close to 60, that's a pretty good day. And then for Wednesday, we're just a couple degrees cooler, 57 Grand Rapids, still 60 in Chicago, 63 over in Detroit, and 47 up at Gaylord. UP sees some temperatures there in the 40s, but all in all, a pretty good couple of days shaping up here for us. 5-day forecast looks like this, mostly sunny today, 30% chance of a light shower late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. Again, that's just a very light shower or sprinkle. We should be mostly sunny and a touch cooler on Thursday. Good chance for rain on Friday. Should be a wet day, but mild with temperatures in the upper 50s. And then colder air settles in. Saturday, upper 40s. We may be only in the low 40s here on Sunday. And we have a couple of our models that are giving areas from Grand Rapids off to the south a period of wet snow flurries here Sunday into Monday. That's probably a little overdone this early, but it's something to keep in mind that there will be colder air coming down. And then after a couple, 3 cold days, it warms back up into the 50s again. So it's interesting what we have going on here now. And taking a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, this has been, again, very consistent at showing us a lot of orange and red, which has turned out to be right over most of the country. Coldest air bottled up in northern Canada and Alaska, and the bubble of the warmer than average temperatures occurring in the central U.S. Kind of a chilly, rainy pattern, though, for New England. All right, let's see what else we got here for you, what Alex and Michelle have come up with. There's our rainfall map, and we're in the near normal category here. Stays wet and rather cool in the west and in the northeast. All right, now let's see what Alex and Michelle have come up with. November 4, 1924, the first female U.S. state governor was elected. And this was in Wyoming. Sometimes that's called the Equality State. Nellie Ross, no relation to Betsy Ross, but became the first U.S. state governor, state of Wyoming on the state in 1924. And coming up next, what do we have here for us? Pop culture, Faygo. Oh, yeah, over in Detroit. Pop culture, you get that? That's pretty clever. Okay, it was founded in 1907 in Detroit, Michigan, started at the Feigenson Brothers Bottle Workers. Brothers who were Russian immigrants, sold only in Michigan until the late 1950s. Yeah, I remember growing up, we couldn't get that in the Chicago area, but kind of interesting. A salute to Faygo. What else we got here for us? This broadcasting legend was born November 4, 1916. He anchored the CBS Evening News. Okay, that's all I needed to tell you who this was. He did that for, 20 years, 1962 to 1981. He was famous for reporting on the Apollo 11 and Apollo 13 space missions, and that's the way it is. That would be Walter Cronkite, who was on CBS. I remember NBC had David Brinkley and Chet Huntley, and ABC had Frank Roberts for a while. So there were others in there in that mix too, but that's what Walter Cronkite looked like. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got some pictures to share with you here. There is a coffee cup down there from Dave Verhoeven, enjoying my morning coffee, and showing us the ending slide that we use here, since I'm so fascinated by the snowstorm that I saw last summer. It's great that Dave and the rest of you are watching, listening. I appreciate it very much. Next slide we have is from Ladina, and this is near Big Rapids. Beautiful day. You can see the leaves changing color, the sunshine there. The leaves have hung on the trees about a week longer so far, a week to even 10 days longer than average. And that was due to the fact that we had such sunny and warm weather here. The trees kind of thinking, well, it's still summer. I might as well get in some more growing. But nowadays, we've pretty much all had frost, and the color change is advancing across the area. The windy days we'll certainly knock off some more of those leaves now. All right, thanks for that. This is from Matt Rogers, and we've got sunset over there on the right side, and the clouds starting to come in. And I believe this was a night or a couple of nights ago, as I remember sunset in my area looking pretty similar to that. Generally mid-level clouds. Those would be about 2 miles above the surface of the earth here, above ground level. And those clouds did bring a few showers off to the north. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it very much. And up next, we have another picture for you. This one is from John Scully. And you can see the dark gray clouds right there. Kind of looks like a typical fall scene in Michigan, with the gray clouds covering the sky and the rather high waves there being pushed ashore. You can see the lighthouse there over to the side. That might be Grand Haven. It's pretty hard for me to see. I'm pretty far away from the shot there. But thanks, John, for this picture and all the other pictures that you send us. We have another picture to share with you here. This one from, let's see, there may be just one left. John Doherty, yes, indeed. And boy, isn't that pretty. This is that special 5 or 10 minutes where the sun is shining underneath the clouds and illuminating the layer. And of course, since the red color has the longest wavelength and comes through the air the best at sunrise and sunset, we have kind of a reddish or orangish tint. Looks very fall-like, and you can see the leaves off the trees there in the foreground there, over especially on the right side. But a lot of neat pictures you can take up there in Benzie County. Well, thank you so much for staying with us until the end. We've got a pretty nice day coming up, so get out and enjoy if you can. Like I said, if you're inland, temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Wind just a little bit brisk. The wind will probably start out southwest or even west-southwest and then shift more to south or south-southwest here during the afternoon. Have a great day.